Hello, welcome RCS families to the Rochester Virtual Campus Curriculum Night. My name is Nick Reed, and I'm your son or daughter's 7th grade Ancient Civilizations or 9th grade World History teacher. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen, very commonplace for 2020 learning. I'm going to share my screen, and we will get started. All right, so a little bit about me. I am a K through 12 RCS alumni. I went to Hamlin, I went to Ruther, and I graduated from Rochester High School in 2011. After that, I graduated from Oakland University with a degree in history and social studies. My professional career, I started coaching at Rochester in 2014, basically right around the time of graduation, and finally hired at RCS in 2019 as a teacher. And obviously this is the 2021 school year. I am a virtual campus teacher, and I have a couple remote learning setting classes as well. So that's kind of professional me. And I can tell you a little bit about the curriculum, and I will, and some of the units and all of that stuff. But I'm sure if I was a parent, I'd want to know who it was that was actually teaching my kid. You know, what was that guy or girl all about? And I am very family oriented. I spend a whole lot of time with my family. I am a born and bred Rochester kid. And I love the fact that I can now spend my career in the same spot that I was inspired to be a teacher myself. Top right corner is kind of my work family there. Some of the individuals that inspired me to be a teacher as their student, and now I'm their colleague. So definitely awkward in some spots, but couldn't be more blessed to have them in my life. In the middle, that's my mother and my sister, whom I'm very close with. Casey, my sister, is a senior at Rochester High School this year, which is crazy. I get to teach my sister and be around her. It's pretty great. And then the top left, kind of my extended family. I'm very close with my grandparents as well. This is us at Lanyap at the lighting ceremony downtown Rochester. Spent a lot of time doing that in and around the city. Some of my likes and dislikes. I'm a big traveler. On the sides, you can see my dad and I at Red Rocks. We went to see a show in Red Rocks over in Colorado a couple years ago. Awesome experience. I traveled the country not too long ago with just me and my dog. You can see kind of the outline. Went all the way to the West Coast, up through Seattle, and then through the UP to finish it off. And that's Lila, my dog, and I in the UP up in the top right. And then another interest, hobby, I've been coaching for as long as I can remember. Basically, I stopped playing sports, and then I started coaching. And I tell kids this, but I also tell them every year that I'm a teacher first. That is my job. I love coaching. I consider it a great hobby and interest. But as far as the professional is concerned, I am a teacher first. So those are some of the interests and hobbies and some of the family life for me. Communication. How would you get a hold of me? I have office hours scheduled for Thursday, 11 to 12, which has been great the past couple weeks. Some of your kids have been popping in on Zoom. I basically am on this Zoom for an hour. I can stay longer. Sometimes I can come on a little earlier as well, depending on meetings. But they can pop in and say, hey, Mr. Reed, I'm not really understanding how to get to this assignment or how to turn this in, or I'm not really understanding the wording here. They can share their screen with me, and I can help them out in that way. A lot of kids go through the email, and parents, that's the best way to contact me as well. Please shoot me an email. Zoom meetings, your students will be with me on Tuesdays. We'll be face-to-face for an hour on Tuesdays. Ancient Civilizations will go from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning, and then World History, 9:15 to 10:15, right thereafter. Both sets of curriculum, again, I'm not going to sit here at curriculum night and bore you with all the state standards. It's all on Moodle, all clearly organized on Moodle. If you want to check that out, we follow the Michigan model that all RCS staff in social studies has been trained to do. So I really enjoy the organization that it gives us on Moodle. It's broken down by every unit standard, a connection to every learning goal, connection to every assignment and everything that we do. So it's pretty easy if your students have questions for me to go in and show them exactly where they need to be, exactly what it is that we're learning. And then I use those Tuesdays kind of as a review day, kind of foreshadow the next week's assignments, answer any questions, things like that. Get them ready to go for the week's work. Expectations. This one's important. I've gone over it with your kids. The Zoom attendance policy, the only time they need to have their camera on is when they sign in. And I kind of have a routine in the classroom in a normal school setting. I'm standing outside of my classroom after every hour welcoming students. I kind of do the same thing with virtual learning. I welcome each student one by one. Their camera's on. I say hello. They say, hello, Mr. Reed, how you doing? And then if they'd like, they can turn their camera off. Also, if students are unaccounted for that day, we do have some email policies in which I reach out just to make sure everything's okay, and make sure that your student will be able to attend or can get the week's information. Big expectation is respect for yourself and your classmates. I want students to come into this virtual learning setting and feel that their opinions are valued. Does every student agree with every other student? Of course not. But we're teaching a respect for values, a respect for opinions. And I think that creates an awesome dialogue to have discussions, even if you don't agree with that person in front of you on that Zoom call. And then finally, proper attire, virtual etiquette. It's all there in the RCS handbook. That's all there for you to look at. But students have been great so far. I don't expect any craziness or stuff like that because I've met your kids on a handful of occasions already, and they have been awesome. So any information on that, RCS handbook, and attendance policies and things of that nature. So in closing, technology, it's a learning experience for us all. Obviously, this is an unprecedented time. And as teachers, I can tell you that those around me and myself have been working so hard to make this experience a positive one for your kids. Patience. With that being said, we're all going to learn together. I told the kids I'm going to screw something up at some point. Some piece of digital technology won't work, or we'll get logged out, or the Wi-Fi or your Wi-Fi might go out and you might have to log back on. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to get through this together. Make sure if those things happen, communication is the number one thing. Communicate with me through email. Make sure that I'm up to date with what's going on. And I promise that we're going to have ourselves an awesome year. And that's the last thing. I made your kids a promise, and I'd like to make all of you a promise as well as parents. I promise to do everything that I can possibly do to make your son or daughter's experience a positive one in my class. I know it's been an unprecedented year, but something like this, I think, will bring out the best in ourselves as educators, you all as parents, and in your awesome sons and daughters as well, because it's going to be an interesting year, but we're going to get through it and we're going to have some fun along the way. So I really appreciate you guys hopping on here and learning a little bit about me and your son or daughter's class. And I'm very excited to continue to be their teacher this year. And I know we're going to have an awesome year. So thank you so much. Hope you all have a great rest of the night.